going on, everybody? Yeah. So I do believe that today is Tuesday, which means it's TNT, Tried and Tested Tuesday. It's the night that you all get to see this face who you should by now know who it is. And you should know what it is. It's your girl Rain, and this is the Randomly Rain Show. And it's, like I said, Tried and Tested Tuesday. So, how y'all been doing? How's it going? How's it hanging? What's cracking? What's really good? What's really hood? What's really shoulda, woulda, coulda? Um, it has been quite um quite a different kind of weekend coming into this week. The end of last week was kind of, you know, different, to say the least, but it still was good and blessed just the same. Um, I have been finding myself just truly recognizing um, how my sorry, got stuff on my desk and it's kind of bothering me. So let me stay focused, stay with it, don't get distracted. So I have been recognizing just how the new me on the new track, in the new square that God has placed me in, um, how I have actually come from such a different, far place. Sometimes, a lot of times, when you allow God to really start changing and rearranging things about yourself, you recognize that things are really different. Hi, Mr. Reggie. Resurrection Sunday was all that in a bag of chips. It was a very different type of Resurrection Sunday. It was very eventful. It was actually kind of trying, and if you stay tuned, I'll get to that point in a minute. But it was blessed. Hey, I know that for me, I'm only speaking for myself and the rainbows out there that are in the same boat and category as me. We serve a risen, live, and good Savior, and Easter, or as I like to call it, Resurrection Sunday, is all about that. Um, so if you have checked the title or description around however you are viewing your girl Rain today, I got some kind of juicy topics that I want to talk to you all about this particular Tuesday. Um, First and foremost, I want to make sure that, excuse me, that I take some time to thank each and every single one of you all of my rainbows. Listen, um, I do not take you peeping in, you commenting, you watching, you sharing lightly. I do everything that I do for the love of you. I do this, what I do, for you. God bless me with this particular platform for you. It is designed with you in mind. It's designed to first give glory and shine the light on God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. But it is also designed for you, to give you something to do, that will take your mind off of everything that you have to go through in your world every day. um, every Tuesday for at least an hour. You get to take your mind off of. I know Easter was a special time for everyone else, but I lost my dad on the 5th of April 5 years ago, and Easter seems like it was a celebration. It is or wasn't a celebration without him. Well, I apologize. I send you love, light, and some type of peace. Um, I have been um, living with going into next month will make a year that my dad, which is 1/3 of my triangle, has been resting. I have been watching one of my surrogate families go through the process of not having their Superman there, so I can only imagine um, what that might feel like. I still have my number one man, my father, still here, but I just cannot imagine that part of you. I can kind of understand because of my dad, but yeah, I give you all type of love and hugs, cyber hugs, virtual hugs, and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about that. It is holidays tend to bring out that type of pulling the scab off of certain things when it comes down to loss. I think that I will be having an episode about loss coming up in the very near future, because I know a lot of people are going through that type of thing. Um, but like I was saying, I noticed that um, because this is TNT, and on TNT we talk about tried and tested on Tuesdays. So, oh my God, my mind is just out there. So I'm trying to bring it in. I noticed that how I would normally handle a situation and how I have been handling a situation these days is so different. I also have been recognizing just how God allows peace, grace, mercy, favor, strength, um, the bridling of the tongue. He allows those things to come into play, and you can utilize those things as tools when you truly start to trust him and allow him to take control over your life. um I have always been one of those type of individuals to where once you take me there and I switch off and I do not come back on, um people have a tendency to get hurt. I lose any type of rational mind when I get to that point. And I have been working for a lot of years to allow God to change that part of me. And recently, very recently, I have witnessed the fact that I was able to not allow myself to be knocked off of my square. Now, had it been the old square, a lot of people would probably be leaking, hurt, damaged, or any of those type of things at once. Um, but I am grateful for the fact that I have been able to get to a different place and state of mind. What I mean by that, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. To God be the glory. That's like I said, I do everything that I do for the love of my people, for my rainbows. Yeah, I just came from Mississippi. I understand. My mother and my dad were in Chicago. My mother was in Chicago by herself when my dad went to sleep. Um, and for a long time, my mother was in Chicago, my dad was in Chicago, I was in Louisiana, my father was here in Texas. So, I understand that being separate type of situation. I totally get it. Um, so let me go back and look at the I have it in my head, the topics that I wanted to touch on, but I want to make sure I stay kind of in the groove. Um, so I already started with talking about um, how I changed. So one of the topics is I put um, the three things that I'm gonna try to touch on tonight. And please, y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all charge it to my head and not my heart. A lot of times I have so many things in my head that I want to share with you and say to you. But before I talk to you all, I do pray and I ask God to allow me to decrease and to allow Him to increase so that the things that you get from me on my episodes and my show when I'm talking to you all, a lot of the things that come out of me are not of my own. You hear my voice, you're seeing my face. He's using me as his vessel, but a lot of things that come out are all from him, right? So, um, I want to talk to you all tonight about dreams deferred and or fulfilled. I want to talk to you all about when things don't go your way, when people who should know you but don't know that you have changed and been set free. Um, how do you handle that when they don't want to treat you like the old you, or they expect you to be the old you? Um, Also, it's up to you. Um, to show how you show up and how you move. You should never allow any type of negativity, and I spelled negativity wrong. I'm about to go fix that. Negativity to knock you off your track or your square. So what I was saying before is the old me, the old uh Denise, Shay, Blue, Brain, or any of those other names, was one of those type of people to where it was nuck if you buck, and 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna buck before you even think about nucking, right? So now I'm older, first of all. I'm a lot wiser, thanks to God, and I just some things I just rather not even go there with you on. Like I'm not even here for that. Don't get it twisted though. I'm still not all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still human. I'm still a sinner saved by God's grace. So please, like the song says, try Jesus. Please don't try me, because it can come to a point to where I will lay hands. But I also recognize that the battle is not mine. The word says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, that he will fight my battles, and he does time and time again. So I want to kind of slow down and go back to where I was at. So I'm saying all that to say sometimes you are changed, you are renewed, you have been set free from some things, you have thrown in the towel on some things. You have cast some cares upon God for Him to take care of for you, and you have allowed God to perform surgery upon you. Sometimes people that are close to you or should know you, and should be able to recognize that you are different. They can recognize that you might be a little bit different, and they might take that you're a little bit different the wrong way. They might feel like you're um, thinking that you're bougie, like, oh, you don't want to do this, or you ain't that, or you ain't something, and that's okay. It is not everybody's responsibility to recognize your growth. It is not everybody's responsibility to applaud the fact that you have changed. It is not everybody's responsibility to recognize and understand and grasp that you are different. Um, it is your responsibility how you respond, what and who you answer to, or how you answer, or if you answer at all. It is up to you how you show up to the scene, how you move, how you be when you show up. I talk to y'all about that all the time. It's about who you are, whose you are, how you be within yourself. Sometimes you can change the temperature in the room because you are not a thermometer where the temperature changes you. You are the thermostat. You change the temperature. When you go to the thing on the wall and you move it and you change it to change the temperature, you are that mechanism when you step into a room. You're not a thermometer that you put on something and the heat from whatever you touch on is changing the temperature of you. No. Once you are solidified in who you are, whose you are, um, why you are, who you be, um, what you will and will not accept, and why you will or will not accept a thing, then you become the thermostat. And that's what we should all be trying to get to the place to become. We should want to be the thermostat and not the thermometer. We should want to be able to, when we walk into a place, that we change the atmosphere there and not be conform to the atmosphere, you know. So, what do you do when you are face to face with someone that is so used to the old you or the just beginning to change you versus someone that has recognized that you are different, that you are brand new, that you are free, but they expect you and still see you as the old you? How do you fix those things? How do you change it? Should you fix it at all? Should you stay following in the old? Should you go back? Should you backslide? Should you change to fit to conform or fit to them? No. That's not how any of this works. That is not how it's supposed to go. Hey TT. That is not how any of this is supposed to go. When you have gotten to the place to where you allow yourself to want to vibrate higher, to want to achieve more, to want to start walking in your full potential, you cannot worry about or allow someone to take you out of your character. You cannot allow someone to knock you off of your square. You cannot allow someone to take you out of your comfort zone. And not I'm not maybe comfort zone is not the word I'm looking for, but you can't allow somebody else's perception of you or somebody else's idea of you to change all the work and the preparation and um the trying that you had to go through to get to where you are now. That's not it. And the enemy is going to try to do that. The enemy and God, sometimes God tests us, and it's not the enemy, man. We want to give the enemy the power that belongs to God. Sometimes God is going to test you and see if you have gotten to the place where He can now raise you up another level. God takes you to glory to glory to glory, level to level to level. So each time you go up a level, you got new devils, new trials, new tests, new tests, new tribulations. So and life is like that too. Not it's not just about the spiritual aspect of it, but life is just like that. Every time when you're in school, when you were in first grade, second grade, you had a little baby test, right? Whether you could say your ABCs and one, two, threes, and you knew your colors. Simple test. To when you got up to high school, you had to take SATs, ACTs, TIES tests, algebra, uh, algebra. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. Algebra and all kind of um higher level tests. And then when you get to college, you have to take college level things. Each time you go up to a level, you have to take a test in order to move on to the next thing. So next I want to talk about, let me see. So yeah, you don't allow, okay, I missed a part. Let me slow down. Let me unpack it a little bit. So here's where this part of the topic came from. Now, anyone that knows me should by now have recognized or caught on or heard me say that if you are in my triangle, square, or circle, and I consider you somebody that's important to me, I'm overprotective. I try to go the extra mile. Um, you know, I tend to let these people get away with some things that somebody that's outside of those three objects would never get away with, right? Nah, it ain't even happening. But sometimes I have to allow myself to recognize that even though I'm gonna always have my foundation of who I am has always been who I am right now. It's just that now I do things in a different way as who I've always been. And I'm also different in a lot of ways as well. So if someone says a certain thing to me, I'm gonna try to give it an example, and I know that something that I might be finna say might rub somebody the wrong way, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I'm not trying to rub you the wrong way. I am just trying to make an example out of the situation at hand. Okay, so if it rubs you the wrong way, even if it doesn't, makes you think about it later, and you be like, "Hold up, she tried it. I'm not trying to try it. I'm just being real. You know, I live my life real, raw, uncut, right? Straight up factual. So, you know, this past weekend was a girls trip that your girl Rain went on. I know some of you all might have seen the footage that I put up of being in Mississippi and being in the place called Club Couples. Um, it was a girls trip to celebrate. For me, I was celebrating for the final moment in that fashion, me graduating from college. At the same time, I was helping to celebrate the president of the trail ride group that I'm in became divorced. So I was celebrating with her that accomplishment or that change in her life. We were supposed to go to a specific event that I was really excited about. I happen to love music. I happen to love people. I happen to love anything simple but nice. Country life type things, trail riding, rhythm and blues shows, southern soul shows, horses, whatever, right? I love all those type of things because I'm a country girl at heart. So we were supposed to go to a particular event. Now, let me say this. I know that in life, sometimes things don't always go the way you plan it. You can plan it to your blue in the face and cross the T's and dot the I's, and something still might go wrong. That's just life, right? I understand all that. But let me get to the point. So, we had a girls' trip. We were going to Mississippi. We were going to go to certain events. And like I said, me, myself, she, me, her, it's your girl Rain, have been wanting to go to these particular events because one of my favorite artists, who is Adrian Bagger, was performing, right? And I wanted to see him live perform prior to last weekend actually getting here by any means necessary. That's how I felt about this particular thing. Plus I felt like it was just a good um memory that I would have been able to put in my life story as, hey, I graduated college and I did this to commemorate the fact that I graduated college. um and in my mind I was expecting everybody that was involved to understand that this meant this to me, even though I knew that it also meant this to the president of the group, right? Okay. So as things start to move and come together and go through things, certain things I felt like did not go the way I envisioned it in my head. And another thing you might not know about your girl, right? I have a tendency to be spoiled to a certain extent when it comes to things that I want. If I want something, I want it, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get whatever I have to that I want by any means necessary. And a lot of times I jam myself up because once I get something in my head to a certain way and I know that I can do what I can do to make it work, I'm going to do it, right? I don't care what anybody says. They can say, don't do that. That's not the way to go. You're going to bump your head. And I'm probably going to be like, if I bump my head, it is what it is. Oh, well, at least I know that I tried to do what I wanted to do, right? So, things start to unravel. I start to get in my head. I start to get in my feelings. I start to get aggravated. Now, just because I do everything that I do out of love does not mean that I'm not still the Scorpion that I am. I have two sons. I'm a Libra and a Scorpio. Um, so I tend to go back and forth between, the way my attitude is, right? However, I'm also a new person. because when whom God says free is free indeed, and I'm free. I am, for the first time in almost 43 years, completely free from a lot of things that used to be make it easy for me to pop off, right? So we go to some restaurants to get food as we're traveling to the place. I'm really picky about my food, especially with the fact that I don't eat things that I used to eat. Like, it used to, didn't matter what I ate, I could eat anything, but I don't eat like that anymore, right? Because I'm not just on a diet, I'm changing my whole entire lifestyle. So I'm kind of picky about what I eat, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I got to pay my money for it. And especially if I've told it to you about 3 times, then you should know exactly what I want, and I expect it to come to me how I asked for it, right? So a few times we stopped, food wasn't right. I was already not kind of excited about that. Um, I, we end up getting a kind of late start on, leaving to go towards the event. That kind of aggravated me. And then I kind of really hadn't been having enough sleep. And if you know anything about your girl, when it gets to the point where I haven't had enough sleep, it's no telling what you might get, right? Because the girl that I keep under lock and key that live in the back of my psyche, she's just she's crunk when she don't get no sleep, and that's not good for anybody. If she on the loose, she break out from out the lock and key that I keep her in. She know to do that when I don't get no sleep. So it's no telling what can pop off. But anyway, so I got two things that's kind of bothering me a little bit, but it is what it is. It's supposed to be fun, girls trip. I'm gonna start a new job, and I need to make sure I have some fun because it is what it is. Da da da. Right? Boom. We get to where we're supposed to be going. I still need to go do some things. Long story short, the main thing that I really just wanted out of the whole entire trip, other than going on the trip, one of the main things, it didn't get to go like I wanted. So the devil on my shoulder or the bad angel on my shoulder is like, go to freak off. Like, lose your marbles. Like, you too calm for me. But the good angel on my other shoulder is saying, it's not even that serious. Maybe it was something that was happening over there that God was trying to protect you from. You did pray and ask God to make sure that y'all will be safe and that y'all will be able to have fun and that, da da da, right? So I decided to just be like, it's cool. Let's just not waste any more time on the small stuff that the milk is spoiled, it's spilled. Let's just clean it up and keep it moving. So at the end of the night, I ended up having some fun. And then here comes the try part. Again, something else just rubs me the wrong way. The old me probably would have been trying to figure out how I can catch the next bus and come home. The old me probably would have been, I probably would have messed up a connection that I've had for now 20 years. I probably would have said some things that I wasn't going to apologize for because at the time when I was going to say it, I was going to mean it. And I probably might have, probably could have went to jail because I probably would have just lost it if I was the old me. But I'm the new me. And I think that the new me, I think people might tend to feel like they can try it. And I'm not speaking on this particular situation per se, but I feel like people feel like they should be able to say whatever they want to say. They should be able to do whatever they feel like they big enough and bad enough to do. That they should be able to put me in situations that they can feel like that they can put me in, and I'm not going to, because I'm new. I'm not gonna still have some of that old residue. Well, that's not the case, because even though I might not be trying to put my hands on you, or even though I might not put my tongue on you the way I would have done back in the past, does not mean I'm just going to allow somebody to treat me any kind of way. And you cannot do that. People cannot just feel like they have a right to treat you however they feel like they want to treat you. And you're supposed to just be able to just, it's cool. It's all great and lovely. No. You need to make sure that you speak up for yourself. You should give them the opportunity to be able to, if they recognize that they might need to, or you recognize you might need to, apologize to each other. You also have to make sure that these people know that you are a different person, that you do not um desire to rock that way anymore. You do not desire to go that route anymore. Things I used to do, I don't do those things anymore. So you have to make sure you let the people know exactly where you come from, but you have to say it in a manner that will not allow you to lose the blessings that you have been reaping, right? Because right now I'm in my reaping season. I have said out of my mouth, I do not know what seeds I sowed to be able to be getting the blessings that I have been getting, but I will be darn tootin' not gonna let you make me lose my blessings that God has been bestowing upon me. Okay, so next topic. The fact that I wanted to see Adrian Bagger, as well as the fact that I wanted to make sure that I do right by the platform that God has blessed me with, um, that I do right by the hard work that I put in for the 4 years and 5 months of undergrad. Um, the fact that God has shown me that I'm supposed to be doing more things, because to whom much is given, much is required. So, there are other things like the Rain Free Experience, Range Fit, and Focus Life Ministries, and other things that God is getting me to do, right? So that brings me to dreams deferred or fulfilled. Me graduating from undergrad was a dream fulfilled, even though there were moments where the dream was deferred. What I mean by that is, on my wall, I have 3 awards for making the dean's list for 3 different semesters. But then came the loss of my uncles, 2 of them within 8 months apart, and all 3 of them within year after year, right behind each other. So that was the first time that I had so much loss back to back to back like that. Yes, I've lost people throughout my lifetime, but in this particular situation, it was just like back to back to back, and it threw me off my square. It threw me for a loop. It threw me um in a place where I didn't think I would be able to come back and accomplish what I accomplished. But the Bible clearly says with God, all things are possible. Not just one thing, not just 4 things, not maybe a thing every other month, but all things are possible to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Paraphrasing, but you know the gist. So sometimes when you are going through your change, when you are being elevated, when you are allowing yourself to start vibrating higher, when you start to choose yourself, a lot of times some people can get upset by that. It seems like it should be ludicrous for them to get upset about you taking care of yourself. But a lot of times whenever you get to a place to where you no longer need to call on these particular people, or you are no longer underneath these people's thumb and finger, then they tend to have an issue with you, even without saying a word. There tends to be some tension, there tends to be some envy, there tends to be some strife. But you cannot allow what these people are going through within them own selves to stop you from having dreams fulfilled. A dream deferred is only a dream that you put down and you were too afraid to pick it back up and run with it. A dream deferred is only a dream that maybe, just maybe, when you were dreaming it and you were trying to achieve it at that time, that was not the season for it. But a dream deferred is just a dream fulfilled that's not recognized or not developed enough. And that's how I see it. Because I started college right after high school. I should have been completed college. One of my aunts said, "Thank you for finally putting that brain that God blessed you with to work." I've been putting my brain to work, but my family knew that God had blessed me with the gift of the brain that I have. My father used to always tell me, if I had half of the brain that you had, I would be unstoppable. There's no reason that you should be still in the place that you're in with the brain that you have. You just need to apply the brain that you have. So, um, but had I went through college then, um, I probably wouldn't. There's no problem. I would not have appreciated it as much as I appreciate it now. Yes, I waited until I was in my 40s to do it, but you're never too old to get your education. And when it comes down to our communities, the more education that you have, whether it's the Americanized education, whether it's African American education, whether it's black education, it doesn't matter. As long as you have some education about something, you have some tools and some power that no one can take from you. So my dream was, even though it was deferred about graduating college at the top of my class, I still was able to make it a dream fulfilled because I never gave up on it. And God would not stop making it a thorn in my flesh. The platform that I'm talking to you on right now was a dream deferred, but it is now becoming a dream fulfilled because I get to sit down and have a conversation with you all every Tuesday, and people are actually watching it. People are actually getting something out of it. I am doing what God told me to do, and He is being able to get the glory out of it because just one person, even if it's only going to be that one person, if one person gets something out of it and they were able to save themselves or change the way that they um move and go through life and see life and might save someone, then that means that my dream has been fulfilled, that my job has been completed, that this particular mission, this particular assignment um gets a check, gets a gold star, platinum star, whatever, God's, grading system might be, right? So I believe that you should never, ever, ever stop dreaming. I am a huge dreamer. Not just in the, oh, what's my goal for this day or this week or this month or this year, but I am an actual. That's one of my gifts. If I dreams, I see things in my dreams. Um, I already knew that some friction was going to come about between myself and the president because I had dreamed it a month ahead of time. I already knew that something was going to happen on this particular trip that was going to make me have to look at myself in the mirror, pause, and actually have a conversation with myself and say, okay, choose ye this day who you gonna serve. You can't serve the devil and God at the same time. You can't be lukewarm. You can't straddle the fence. How you gonna show up? Because I had dreamed it. So in a sense, that's a dream deferred as well. And some dream deferrals are necessary for you to be able to dream bigger, for you to be able to vision broader and brighter, for God to be able to allow whatever He's going to birth out of you to be able to get to the full gestation period, the full growing period. Um, sometimes a dream deferred has to happen so that God can place the people that He needs to provide the provision for you on the path that He's going to place you on. And if you move ahead of Him, then you jam yourself up. And sometimes you can move ahead of Him and call a dream deferred because that's not what He told you to do. That's not how He told you to do it, and that's not why He told you to do it. Like I told you, I had this assignment 5 years before I got to the point of where I am right now. So if something or someone or just yourself throw a monkey wrench in a plan that you might have thought you had, and it causes you to have some type of feeling about it, don't ever let that feeling just stop you from doing what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ever allow negative situations to throw you off of your square or throw you out of your happy place or your growing your growing incubator. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. Um, and if it gets to the point to where a person cannot accept you for how you have changed and how you have grown and how you have matured, then that's a person that's a seasonal person anyway. Everybody cannot be invited to your stage play. Everybody cannot have a part in your story. Seasons change, people change, relationships change. You have to recognize which relationships are, everlasting, which relationships need to be cut, which situations need to be cut, which attitudes need to be cut and destroyed and annihilated and obliterated or whatever those things, which yokes need to be destroyed, which shackles you need to let God break. When He has already severed them, when He has already destroy them and broken them, and but you're still trying to hold on to them, and they just matted up, full of maggots and molded in your hand because they still they old they dust. Sometimes you have to release those things. You have to let those things go. You have to let people go. You have to let things go. You have to let places go. You have to love. Sometimes you have to let visions go because those are not the visions that God want you to manifest. So you have to be careful. But don't feel like you're a failure because a dream might be deferred. Don't feel like you have to stop because you fulfilled one particular dream. Because sometimes that one particular dream is tied into this big old huge beautiful picture. So you have to just sorry y'all. My husband's calling me, but I'm busy. So you have to make sure you stay on your course. Make sure you check yourself and check with God to make sure that, or your higher power, and make sure that you're on the right path. It's okay to check yourself because sometimes you have to be the person to check yourself. It's not somebody else's responsibility to always check you. Sometimes you have to check you. You have to be like, nah, sis, nah, bro, that's not even how it ain't even worth it. That's not what's up. That's not hot. That's not the move. That's not the play. Nah, don't even do. Don't even worry about it. It is what it is. And I had to come to that place, even though I was really, really kind of hurt. I was kind of upset with myself and with the situation at hand. Period. I had to check myself. I had to be like, because first I was like, who need this? Like, who they talking to? Like, what? Or like, oh, you tried it, freak the freak, like, oh, you tried it, but it's not even worth it. It's sometimes God allows us to go through those situations so that we can know it's time for you to change the way you're moving. It's something about the way you're moving. It's something about the fact that you feel like you need this particular situation, this particular person's approval to make you be validated. And you're supposed to get your completeness and your peace and your strength and your sanity and your wholeness from God because God created you or your higher power. So why even be plexed up? Plexed up for what? Because you already missed it. It's already over. Like, why you still plexed up? Like, If you would spend more time focusing on what you need to be focusing on and making the moves that you need to be making, and stop trying to feel like you need to be in this particular it crowd or whatever the case may be, then you wouldn't have to worry about being in those type of situations, because you would need to do that like that. You can make other moves. You can still do what you want to do and still hang around these people if you need to, or you so choose to, or if these are the people that you're supposed to be with, or this is the situation that you're supposed to be doing, but you can do it in a different way to where it will not cause you stress. Simple. So, oh, what y'all got? Don't panic. Okay, so well, I talked about dreams is deferred or fulfilled. Um, Talked about when things don't go your way. And yeah, speaking of when things don't go if it does not go your way, your way is not might not be the best way. Um, it might be for your protection. If you want to go just hop up and buy that car, but God has that's not the car or the vehicle that God has for you. If you want to go to that job, and that's not the job that God has for you, or if you want to buy this particular thing, but God has already fixed it, and you go buy it, and you move before Him, and you jam yourself up like I did when I was running around crazy trying to get a computer for the job that I thought I needed a computer for, and they sent me better than what I went and bought. So now I gotta go take everything back and get money back and put it where he really gave it to me to bless me with to put it at. You know what I'm saying? So if I had stayed home and saved the money that I spent going to Mississippi and waited a little while longer to go to Mississippi, or waited a little while longer to go and see Adrian Backer, because he's coming right here to my state. So maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have even had the moment to get aggravated. I wouldn't have had my feelings hurt. I wouldn't have felt like um my associate and friend of 20 years tried it. I would have never we would have never had that interaction with each other. It would have never even had to come into play, because I would have just avoided it, and it was things it was six signs and signals that were showing, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should go a different route. But I still wanted to do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, because I hadn't got my mind set on it. So sometimes that's what that means. Okay. So if things don't go your way, that doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes it can be just what the doctor ordered, even though it doesn't feel like it at the moment. God's thoughts are not our thoughts. God's ways are not our ways. He is God, and He makes no mistakes. And He has no respect of person. He's not going to just treat you a certain way, but don't apply that same thing to somebody else that's going in the same situation as you. No, he treats us all the same. He loves us all the same. He created us all in his image. We are unique and designer originals, but he created us all to glorify him. Um, we all have our own destinies, callings, and purpose. Sometimes we can have the same type of calling, but in a different way. We still are different. I can be someone that's a seer and a feeler and an empath and a good person that can speak. A person that's not afraid to speak, a person that's not afraid to talk to a stranger. And there can be somebody that has some of the same giftings and it has the same type of purpose, but they're not that good on speaking. They don't really care to be in front of the camera. They don't really care to make videos, or they don't just go up and talk to a stranger. They would rather be behind the scenes and do things in a group setting and not just by themselves. But we still have the same type of situation, same type of platform. So that's what I mean by that. Um, Also, I wanted to say, like I was saying, if somebody that has been in your life a long time or that knows you well enough, that might have knew the old you and is just now getting introduced to the new you, or has not recognized that there is a new you, um, and you have been you have began to say, "Nah, I don't really want to do that. Nah, I'll pass on that. Nah, that's not really me no more. I just don't feel like doing that." Or you feel like you can't say anything because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Um, how I feel like you should handle that is different for each person. How I'm learning to handle it is to communicate more. And I noticed that people that are close to me, that care for me, that have been around me 20, 30, 40 years, um, a lot of times they feel like I'm attacking them because for the first time in a long time, or maybe ever, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not just being quiet, taking it to God. Like I know when I need to be quiet and I know when I need to speak. And then some people have the gifting that they can just say nothing and be fine. That dog don't hunt. I'm not going to not say anything when I know I need to. I'm not going to allow someone to accuse me of things that I'm not doing. I'm not going to allow somebody to um, call me a thing that I'm not that. I'm not going to let someone try me to a point to where, oh, now I feel like you're being disrespectful. Or I feel like you feel like situation should be going the way you feel like it should go because you feel like you should be able to tell me to do that. Nah. And you should not do that either. People can only do what you allow them to do to you. People can only call you what you allow them to call you, or they can call you, but it's what you answer to. You cannot answer to what somebody calls you because life and death lie in the power of the tongue. Your tongue, and you can't just let somebody speak a thing over you. The devil is a lie, not at this address. Right female, wrong address. Right? She don't live here no more. I'm quick to say, oh, she dead and she's not coming back. That's one spirit that God will not resurrect. Jesus will not be resurrecting that one. He killed that one. He took it and cut it and cast it in the lake of forgetfulness, never to be brought up. She's gone. Okay, that old person is gone, and that's something that you yourself have to get in the realization about. Once God has set you free and changed you, He creates a new person in you. He creates in you a clean heart, and He renews the right spirit in you. So you are a new person. That person is supposed to be dead. Don't go like Pastor Keon, my pastor at Lighthouse says, don't go walk on dead snakeheads because they still can kill you. They still can poison you. So I don't allow myself to try to go back and do some things that I used to do. I don't do that anymore. I can't do that. Um, Shoot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, you can't I don't do that. I can't do that anymore because to go backwards just for a moment could cause me my life. And not just my life as in my physical life, but my life as in, my spiritualness, my contentment, my peace, my strength. It can cost me so much to just trip the life and tango the wrong way at the wrong time. You know, trying to go backwards, going backwards. This time for me to backslide in a certain way. for certain things at the wrong time can cost me my life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm just not. It's not worth it. So I know that even as I'm speaking to you all about this, I know that some things are going to be still changing some more because God has taken me to different things. He is calling me to be more um what I'm speaking of. Like I have to practice what I preach. I have to kind of walk the tightrope. You know what I'm saying? I gotta kind of walk the straight. I gotta be on the straight and narrow path. Like I got to be able to have um I have to live the life that I talk about, sing about, pray about, um, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm not going to have fun and excuse me. I'm not saying that I'm not going to have fun and live my life because God wants us to enjoy our life. He loves to see us enjoying ourselves and living our lives and being fulfilled and all those type of things. But I get my fulfillment now out of different things. Like even on Saturday night, yeah, that place was nice. I had a good vibe from the place. I actually smiled. I had fun. I love to dance and I love music and I love people, especially my people. Okay, no matter what ethnicity or culture that they come from. But if they're my people, then I love them, and I love people, all people, right? But I just love for us to come together, and there's no drama, there's no chaos. Everybody's positive. Everybody's having a good time. I love a hole in the wall type of environment because it's simple. It's like old school type of situations. You know what I'm saying? I like a good cookout. I like a good crawfish boil, seafood boil, or whatever, So I'm still going to enjoy myself, but I need to make sure that I have to be more cognitive and perceptive and cautious about the areas that I allow myself to go into, the situations that I allow myself to get into, the things that I let come in and out of my what I let come into my eyes, what I let come into my ears, what I let come out of my mouth. I have to be careful about those type of things. The energy that I give off, the energy that I allow to try to come towards me, I have to be careful about those type of things because I just can't do that anymore. The empath in me, the older I get, the more closer I get to God, and the more I submit to God's covering. Um, the more I stay on the straight and narrow path that He places me on, I have to be careful about what I let come around me because those things can try to send me back. Those things can cause me to slip and fall. Those things can cause me to harm and hurt somebody else that I'm supposed to be nurturing and praying for and covering and caring for and speaking to, walking with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things about myself are going to be changing. I know you probably can go back some years when I first started my Facebook page, even if you can still go on my old page, even on this page, you can see my stuff is different. If you look on my Instagram page, you can see that my Instagram page is different. Um, I noticed that even when I want to try to dress like I used to dress, for some reason it don't work. Um, if I try to act a certain way I used to act, it don't work. It doesn't even float my boat anymore. Like I'm still going to be me, Like I have a tendency of now I'm noticing that I'm more outspoken on certain things. I'm not as standoffish as if I feel like I should go and say, you really are a nice person, or I really enjoy, this about you, or you might be handsome, or you might be beautiful. I used to be afraid when God would say, go tell this person this, or you should go and just see if you can hug this person, or you should just go speak to that person. Before I would be like, I'm not doing that. Who does that? Not me. I'm not doing that. But now I'm more open to, saying a thing or moving a certain way. So I said all that to say, today is TNT. So I know to tell you how I was tried, or how the enemy tried it, or even how Jesus or how God tries it, because God tries you to see if you have passed the test that He put for you to pass. So my try is, like I said, I was tried to see if I was going to just pop off, to see if I was going to allow issues and situations and scenarios to take me off my square. Um, if I was going to be able to overcome a situation in a mature manner. If I could accept that everybody doesn't recognize that I'm a different person. Everybody doesn't see that I'm a different person. Everybody doesn't understand why I have to be the way that I am, why I have to change. Um, but I also have to be true to myself, and my true self is, please don't get it twisted. She is not one of them. Um, I'm quick to say, please don't make me go to God on you. Please don't make me go in my prayer closet on you. Please don't make me lay hands on you. And I'm not saying lay hands on you the bad way, the old school way. But please don't make me do that neither, because I don't have time for that. And nobody got time to give off their energy like that. I have too much stuff that I need to do. But I also need to let the people know, please don't get twisted. She is still that girl. I'm still that one, and now I've always been that girl that did whatever I thought I was big enough and bad enough to do, but I'm just playing on a different team. I'm just dancing with a different dance partner. But please don't get it twisted. I am not, and not now, nor have I ever been a punk. I am not scared by far. My parents did not raise no, I'm not one of them. I can't even say what I want to say. Please look into my past, okay? Check my family history. I come from some fighters. I know, like the song said, I know how to fight. I know how to shoot. I I am certifiable a beast in these people's streets. I will run into your stuff, but I'm not trying to be her. She don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm not going. And before I get to that point, I will remove myself from my surroundings. I will stop messing with people. I will stop dealing with people. And I don't want to feel like I have to just stop dealing with people. But I know that a time and a change is going to come to where a lot of people, I'm not going to be able to deal with them people no more. I'm not going to be able to go to places with the people that I love and care about like I used to. Because I'm different, and I have an assignment, and I want to be able to, when that beautiful, wonderful day comes when the last trump sounds, and it is the rapture, and I get to see God and Jesus face to face, that He will not say, "Depart from me, I know you not." I specifically gave you an assignment, and you didn't do that assignment. You let everything and everybody else use you, and you fulfilled the things that they wanted you to do, but you could not stay the course and finish the race that I put you on. I don't want that. So if it means that I have to lose people that I care about and I love, and I will always love and care about, so be it. If it means that God is going to do like He's done before, pick me up and move me somewhere else, so be it. And I feel like, yeah, that's it's already happening. Like He already moved me away. Like I'm already moved in a different place from everybody else. So yeah, it just is what it is. Um, I'm going to go if I have to go by myself. I'm going to get healthy and lose weight, and accomplish my goals and have my dreams fulfilled that I have had deferred for decades. I'm going to live the life that God has created for me to live if I have to do it by myself. If nobody understands why I have this particular show that I do with you all, that's okay. It's cool. I'm not for everybody to understand. Um, if people don't understand how God blessed me to become the first Black Girl Health Houston ambassador, I'm sorry that you don't understand, but I am going to do what I need to do to be about my father's business. I'm going to get my house in order. Um, if people don't understand why I have certain relationships with certain people, and I'm not available to do some of the tomfoolery that I used to, I apologize, but I got to do what I got to do. I got to be who I be, and who I be right now is really who I've been my whole life. But I put that person on the back burner because I felt like I needed to be able to fit in other people's perception of me. And I know I've gone over my little time, but I just want to make sure that y'all get it. You cannot allow um the plastics, the people that feel like they're the it crowd. You cannot allow what people in your surroundings think about you, say about you, feel about you, stop you from doing what you need to be doing. The only thing you need to be worried about is what your higher power, or who God says you are, or what God says you are, and what God says you're supposed to be doing, and who you say you are. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you need to be able to look at yourself and say, girl, you did that. You doing that. You get that. You got that. You is the shiz naive. Okay? That's all that matters is what you feel about you. Because at the end of the day, it's you by yourself. At the end of the day, it's you that has got to give account for the things that you did, nobody else. So you don't let anybody take you off your square. You don't allow anybody's negativity to influence your atmosphere. You change the atmosphere when you step in a room. When you step in a room, when you step in a building, when you get in a vehicle, when you go in the grocery store, you change the atmosphere. You make everybody stop and say, wait, hold up. Why I feel so, why I got the chills, or why I feel so light up in here, or why it's so hot, or why it's so, you dictate your life. You change the atmosphere. Don't allow the atmosphere to change you. The Bible clearly says, do not be conformed to this world. Be ye set apart. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist, right? So yeah, you make sure that you be set apart. Be different. Yeah, I wear my hair in different colors. I got my hair, twisted up. I've always been that girl that's been different anyway. First of all, I'm too big to fit into everybody else's, you know, figment of their imagination. Just is. I'm too loud. I could be just trying to get a point across. The people at the office come knock on the door because I'm loud. You know, I'm not for everybody. They've been telling me I was ratchet my whole life because I'm loud. My voice carries. I didn't create my voice, but oh well. It just is what it is, and when you do that, when you just choose you, when you choose to stay on the path that you're supposed to be on, man, life is so much easier. It is so many beautiful blessings. It's so you get a chance to stop and smell the roses if you like roses, smell the flowers if you like flowers. You get a chance to just float on your back in the swimming pool like the dead man float. You get to enjoy everything, and you don't miss those special moments that you miss when you just zooming through life. You know, you have to do what you have to do what you need to do for yourself. With God, all things are possible. If God before you, who can be against you? He's God, and above him there is no other. He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. You know, he is the person that sticketh closer than any brother. He is the mother to the motherless, the father to the fatherless. He is the chief cornerstone that the builders rejected. He is the rose of Sharon. He is the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He is all knowing, all seeing, all ever present. You know, he is the one true living God, El Shaddai, Elohim. You know, He is just awesome. And he will give you everything that you need. He shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. He has it all. It all belongs to him. Right? So why should you care about what a little peon, mere mortal has to say? Like my brother used to say, mere mortal. Why would it's so irrelevant? It's so stupid, so ignorant, so childish. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyway, you know what it is, and by now you should know who it is. It's your girl Rain. Today is TNT, Tried and Tested Tuesday. It's the day that I get to sit here and talk to you all about whatever God says for us to talk about. Um, Listen, like on my desk, make sure you follow your dreams. I told you a dream deferred is only a dream fulfilled that you stop dreaming about. Follow your dreams. Do everything that you do out of love. Let love be the reason. Because God is love. God is love. Right? I do everything that I do for the love of you. So follow your dreams. Don't let nobody stop you from dreaming. Dare to be your royal self. Dare to dream. And know that if God has brought you to it, he will bring you through it. Um, Love is a powerful, powerful thing. And when it's used wisely and applied wisely and in the right way, it can change things. So it's trying to the Tuesday. That's all I have for you tonight. I will see you all next week. I pray that you have a blessed rest of the week. I pray that you will have an amazing hump day tomorrow. Um, there's going to be some things that's going to be coming up this month. If you want to, on the 11th, April 11th through the 17th, I think is the day or the dates. I'll post it, somewhere on one of my pages. But we're going to be doing a cleanse. Soon and very soon we will be doing in BGH Houston will start having some meetups for the ladies and the fellas if you want, but really for the ladies. But I think the fellas can come to fit count. I'm gonna see about fit count for the ones I do with them when I'm gonna be able to get with them. But BGH Houston is only for the ladies. Listen, the rain free experience starts on May 5th. 2021. 5 is the number of grace, so it's going to be double grace. But that will be the first event for the actual rain free experience. I'm in the process right now of having things in my head and putting it out on paper so that I can have everything lined up. When I get that ready, I will show you and let you know what that is going to entail, what that's going to look like, what it's going to be like. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure I say that. Blue Rain Designs and Company is going to be connected to the Rain Experience. Um, I'm going to be getting the website revamped. The store is still open, you guys. There is still some beautiful jewelry by Miss Marsha of Marsha's Jewelry Source on there. There's still Suave Love t-shirts on there. At right now, there's still Mataka Malimia jewelry on there. Hey, it's springtime. It's gonna be summertime. You're going to be dressing cute and stuff. She has some really beautiful lock jewelry. She has really beautiful necklaces. She has even like for you gonna be wearing swimsuits. She has the little jewels that you put on your nippies. Different things she has. I don't have a lot of those things in the store. Soon I will be taking her off of the store. And she will become like a special order through the store if you want. Um, but I'm gonna take her off and I'm gonna be putting some new things on the store. So a lot of things will be coming up very soon. Also, what else? What else? Make sure I say before I get out of here. Rain Fit will probably be starting either the middle of this month or the end of this month, or it might start the same time as the rain free experience. I might start them together. Um, I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I'm supposed to work that part of that particular part of Rain's world out, but it will be starting really, really soon. Also, I will be doing a live, probably I want to say the last week of April, God's Fair, to honor the young lady that won the February uh, Let's Make Black History Melanin Poppin' Challenge. I want to see if I can go live with her receiving her actual gifts and awards for being the winner for February. There will be a challenge for April. I just don't know if I want to do it for April, if I'm just going to start to do the challenge. I think I'm gonna start it in here in April, and then I'm gonna make it go until the launching of the Rain Free experience. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of things coming up. Uh, thank you all for sticking with me 15 minutes over the time. I just wanted to make sure that I got everything out there, charge it to my head and on my heart. But you all know what it is, and you should know who it is by now. It's your girl Rain. It has been tried and tested Tuesday. I love, love, love all you rainbows out there. Double R. Listen, please don't let anyone tell you or make you feel that you are not enough. If you do not know how to dare to be your best royal self, DM me, smoke signal me, call me, send me an email, send me a text message, and I will gladly help you. You do not let anyone make you feel lesser than yourself. You know who you are. You should know whose you are, and you. It's not It's not what they say about you is what you answer to. I think that's how my father used to always tell it to me. Um, People, the great late great Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you say. People will forget what you do, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So that's what I try to live by. I try to make sure that I make somebody feel the way that I would want them to make me feel. And if somebody is not honoring you and loving you enough to make sure that you feel like you should deserve to feel, then that's something that you need to reevaluate. But anyway, you already know how I'm coming. Deuce out the roof. You should know what I'm going to say. What is it? Love God, love each other, and love yourself. It costs absolutely nothing to love. If we give each other a little more love, and a little more love and a whole lot more love, we can change and save our society. We can save our communities, and we can change and save the world. We can make it great, better, and we can make it brand new. Okay? I love, love, love y'all. I see y'all a couple of shakes of the rabbit's tail. I will see y'all on next Tuesday if God says the same. Um, yeah, I gotta go. I got to go find something to eat. I's hungry. Okay? I love y'all. Have a blessed night. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed, encouraged, fulfilled, peaceful, and joyous week. Oh, bye. Hi, Studywood.